Hey friends, this is the MrsV from our Half Acre Homestead, and today I'm making my version of Dublin Coddle. Now normally Dublin Coddle is made with bangers, and bangers are like a breakfast sausage, only the size of Oktoberfest sausages, and they don't have them here in Quebec. You used to be able to get them at the butchers in Ontario where we lived. Now it's basically onions, sausages, potatoes, bacon and parsley, and ham broth and parsley. I don't have any ham broth, but I've got my, and you're supposed to use thick sliced bacon. I'm using a jar of bacon. This is why it's called my version. I'm using breakfast sausages. I'm adding carrots to the mix, dried parsley, not fresh, and I'm going to add a can of celery just for flavor and moisture. Okay folks, first things first. I would have done this in the crock pot, but I'm running out of time. I'm going to set my oven to 300 degrees because this is a kind of a slow cooking thing. We're going to get that started. And in my Dutch oven, I'm going to get it hot, add a little bit of oil, only so that my bacon and sausages don't stick. And, whoops, and I'm going to start prepping my sausages. Now, traditionally, let me talk to you about traditions here. Traditionally, Dublin Coddle is called Dublin Coddle because, well, there's a lot of Catholics in Ireland, and they don't eat meat on Fridays, or they never used to. So they would take what's ever left over from the week. A couple of sausages, some bacon, whatever was going, and they would slice potatoes and onions and layer it. Then they would cover it with broth and cook it. But first, we've got to brown these up because it calls for, you know, leftovers or cooked sausages. Some people put the whole thing in. Not me. I like bite-sized pieces. And we want this oil to get good and hot so that the bacon and the sausage don't stick. Dublin Coddle is basically potatoes, leftover big thick sausages, and onions and bacon. That's nice and hot, so let's get our bacon in there. Just break it up. Now, you're supposed to cut up the bacon anyway, because remember, this is based on leftovers. We're gonna get that bacon in there. It's still stuck a little bit, but that's okay. This is more bits of bacon and flavor. And we know what happens to 6 slices of cheap bacon that's been canned. It's pretty much just flavor. Now in go our sausages. And we want to brown these in there. So while our sausage and bacon are browning, I'm just going to go ahead, well, I'm going to cut these in half and then just slice them. You know, you would slice rings of onions. It would be mostly onions and potatoes, kind of like potato soup. But I'm going to add carrots just for another veg and for the juice because I'm not adding a lot of broth. Yeah, you don't want to leave the lid on this. You want them to brown, not get watery. All right. There is the onions. And you're supposed to slice the potatoes, thick sliced. I'm going to do the best I can, but these are pretty small potatoes. I might get 3 slices out of each potato. Some of them are white, and some of them are yellow. There's our oven telling us it's ready. Keep stirring your meat until it's brown all over. You can turn the fan off now that the smoke has died down, or the steam has died down. Alright, so there's our potatoes. There's our onions. And I am just going to slice these carrots in half and put them back in this pot so that I can kind of, so that I can kind of layer them. The carrots and the celery are an addition that you will see in some recipes, but not in a traditional Dublin Coddle. That's why I'm calling it my version of Dublin Coddle. Well, I guess it's not Dublin Coddle then, is it? I guess it's a Quebec Coddle, eh, dear?
Sure.
Sure. All right. There's our carrots, our potatoes, and our onions. Now that does look like a lot for 2 people, but it is, because I'm picking Briar up tonight. Now, you don't necessarily have to cook these, and this is the burner that doesn't like to turn down. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm just going to start throwing in a handful each of potatoes and carrots first. Oh, there's our dried parsley. I thought I had the parsley out. I had chives. I'm going to stir this so that the oil gets all over that. See what I'm doing here, folks? And then goes the rest. You're supposed to layer it, but you know what? It's going to get layered as soon as I stir it. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful! We also wanted to make sure the sides of the pot and everything were all nicely oiled. Open our celery. Now we don't want to add salt. Why? Because there's bacon and sausage. And this is all the broth I'm going to use, is the juice from the celery. You see that? Ooh. Look at that. Look at that. Alrighty, now, what am I missing? Pepper! We're missing Papa's pepper. So we're gonna coarse grind some pepper on here. And this is going into a 300-degree oven for about 3 hours. Now I have stirred this once or twice. And I'm going to say it was cooked in like 2 hours. Ooh, ho, 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 Papa. Wait until you see what Mama has got cooking. Now, like I said, the carrots and celery are my addition, so this is kind of my Dublin Coddle. Oh my goodness. Just take a moment. I wish we had smell-o-vision. Pepper it for Papa. And let's just see if this Dublin Coddle, Mrs. Wolfe style Dublin Coddle, appeals to the Irish blood in Papa. Well, you're going to need a fork for the stuff, but you're going to want a spoon too, because you're going to want to watch it, baby. It is hot.
Awesome.
There you go. This is the Mrs. Wolfe from our half-acre homestead saying, I know I'm going to get me some of this. That's cold weather comfort right there. Take care. God bless.